Welcome back to the Bible Caddie Podcast. I'm William Kane. I'm joined by my great buddies, Ben Crane and Webb Simpson. What's up, fellas?
What's up, boys? Nice to see y'all this morning. I'm just excited. I'm excited for another podcast.
Buddy, me too. Excited, very excited about this one.
Ben's coming to us from a hunting lodge in Texas. Good for him. And I get the joy of introducing our guest today. We got the creme de la creme, YouTube golf sensation at the very top of the game, our buddy Grant Horvat. Welcome, Grant.
Dude, I'm so excited to be here. I think I'm more excited about, we got a legend in here. We got William Kane, and then we have Ben Crane and Webb. But William Kane hanging out with this guy, it's special.
Oh, gosh.
He is a legend. For many reasons.
Flattery is a sin. You can repent later.
Buddy,
if you're listening to this,
you probably heard your Sony bathroom story, so that's legendary status.
It is.
It's been quite a while since we've shared that. We might have to run it back before long.
It should be an annual sharing, I think.
Yeah. Well, if you're an old guy listening to this and you're normally tuned in through iTunes or Spotify, you might not know Grant. Everybody under 40 should know Grant. But Grant, tell us a little bit about YouTube golf. What is the YouTube golf space and how did you get into it?
Yeah, like you said, I think there is a generation that is still getting a little bit caught up to it. And it's definitely a newer, evolving part of golf. It's really started to take off over these last 4 or 5 years.
Since you got in the game. Let's just be honest.
I think it was really cool back when I was in Good to see that, to see it like that. That felt like in that moment we were kind of on the forefront of it. And then it feels like it just kept on going and going. And now you got your Brysons, your Jason Days, your Tommy Fleetwoods, everybody also starting their channels. And so, I think that it's this new thing that everyone's trying to figure out still, but it's amazing and it's a lot of fun. And I've been so blessed to be able to do this. I think that it's a dream job. It doesn't get much better than going out there and filming golf videos for a living. It doesn't feel real. I could talk about it forever, but it's a really cool evolving area in golf.
Grant,
how old were you when Golf Boys came out? And
dude,
because Ben kind of created the space. Let's just be honest.
Ben paved the way with Ricky and Bubba.
It was like a prophetic moment.
No, Ben, I actually...
He's like Isaiah saying, here's what's to come, boys. He's pointing ahead.
It's the Isaiah 53 of the
do y'all think Isaiah owned any of those red onesies when he was prophesying?
The prophet Isaiah. Yeah. Isaiah, put this on, the Lord said.
With the helmet.
Goodwill's a great space to pick up your goods.
Yeah.
No, I was still in diapers when Ben dropped that. But no, it was a great music video. I still sing the lyrics to my wife.
Perfect.
I love it. I'm a big 2.0 guy.
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah. 2.0 guy over here.
Yeah.
You got 2.0 is 2.0H because the first video is 000.
Yeah. I got a drippy faucet in my stewy sink.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad that came up. I wanted the Golf Boys to come up in this episode.
Yeah, I feel like if someone has no idea what we're talking about, they really need to go right now immediately and watch that YouTube video, Golf Boys, the song.
They do. Yeah, it went mega viral. Here's what our listeners need to know. As many people watch Grant's videos as watch the PGA Tour on Sunday afternoon. So that gives you a perspective if you're new to this concept of how dramatic what they're accomplishing is. Grant, tell us how you actually got into it. You were a pretty good college golfer at Palm Beach Atlantic, but you weren't necessarily on like a world beater Tiger Woods pro golf track. So how'd you go from college golf to seeing this as an actual viable profession?
Yeah, I played 4 years of college golf. And I realized really quickly that the pro route wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't really love the traveling was, I mean, I love it now. I love traveling now, but at the time, I don't know. I didn't love the lone, like just being in the hotel. Our coach would get us hotels by ourselves. We were kind of going to these new places. I didn't love that feeling. Then the competition was so serious, and it took a little bit of the joy out of the game for me. And also, I was just not near good enough, and I realized that right away. I definitely did when I was starting out. You always have the dream of going pro. And so, played 4 years of college golf, and started, I think it was my senior year, I posted some TikToks. I remember posting some instructional golf content, and I was just doing some, how to hit a stinger, how to grip the club, how to hit a draw, how to hit a fade. And at the time, 4.5 years ago, it was really new, and there wasn't many people even doing golf TikToks, and so it was doing really well. And I was like, wow, people care, and there's a little niche here on TikTok. And when YouTube came about, and I met Garrett, he used to come to my college all the time. GM Golf, he's another very big YouTuber, kind of pioneered the way. And
after Ben, of course, yeah,
after Ben, he got inspiration from Ben, he kind of helped me out in the beginning, and I started filming with him a lot. I moved out to Dallas right away out of college, and that's that's a crazy thing to tell your parents, that you're gonna go do YouTube for a living.
Grant, pause right there. So when you moved out to Dallas, was that a very concrete decision? Like, okay, this is what I want to do with the next X amount of years of my life. I'm going to make a run at this. Almost like a young pro saying, I'm going to give it 5 years to get on the PGA Tour. Is it kind of like that with YouTube golf?
Yeah, and it was at the time, I didn't have anything planned. You get out of college, you're like looking for a job. And so you're like, I got nothing to lose. So,
right.
But it really wasn't that. It was more, I could see the success that Garrett and I already had together on camera. Right off the bat, we were filming videos together, and it was just like it was this natural thing that we had together. And then also you could just read it in the comments and see that people loved it. And so It was already kind of proven. Like, it wasn't this shot in the dark. Garrett already had a very big channel at the time. He already had like 500,000 subscribers. We're talking, you got 4 years ago. And so it was already kind of proven. It wasn't this like huge risk right off the bat. But yeah, it was, it's definitely still, saying you're going to go to YouTube, moving out to Dallas. It's very risky, but there was a good house out there. It was a content house, and that's what I moved into right off the bat. So I lived with
all of y'all live together.
Yeah.
So y'all were just broing out, making golf videos, and it was blowing up.
Yeah. My story's a little different because there was already good. It was already kind of formed with that group of guys. And I was like this new guy coming in. And it was kind of like, I remember it just being a little weird in the beginning because I was like living in the house, but I wasn't a part of Good. I was living in the house just to be a part of GM Golf, which is Garrett's channel. So we were just doing that together. And so this good thing was like, I'm in the house with all these dudes, and you could just tell like it's the beginning stages of it. They're not just going to let some random guy in. And so over time, I became a part of that as well.
How long did that take?
It was surprisingly really quick because I'm living in this house, and I remember that the guys would be like, I got to go on a good week. And they would be like, they would just like leave, and I'm just by myself. And I think eventually some of the guys were like, dang, we kind of feel bad for him. We're just leaving him to go on these like trips. And so I remember I got invited to go to Vegas with the guys. That was like, that was a good week way back then. And that was still like, they were very new. I only think they had like 100,000 subscribers. And that was like my first good week. And I went to Vegas, and it worked out. The energy was great. And then I think since that moment, I just came on every week. And then it just like, I slowly joined the group. It was never this like, you're a part. It was just like this weird, like he's just there.
Slowly grafted in.
Yeah. And then I slowly, became a part of it. But Yeah, no, it was mostly, the beginning was just Garrett and I filming GM Golf, and that was the plan. And then came along my personal channel on the side. I always wanted to have my own brand. Even when I was like starting out, for some reason I was like, I want to have my own channel, just because I grew up around the game and my dad's a pro. And so I feel like I had a lot of knowledge to offer, but also just like a serious side of golf where I want to do like competitive matches and stuff. So I always wanted to have that on the side. And I remember I started that right away, right when I moved out to Dallas.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that's so cool, that the Lord has done in your life is you have a joy of the Lord that is unique. You aren't talking bad about other people, and people are naturally attracted to that, and they want to be a part of it. And I think that's, something that, we're going to speak to, your faith a little bit later, but yeah, that's a way that the Lord has just helped you develop friendships, and that happened with the good guys, and it's continued on through your career. Just speak maybe a little bit about that you've been able to just make these sweet friendships over the years, and then it's led to, kind of moving outward into this YouTube space.
Yeah. Very, everything that's happened, just even looking back at it, it's just, I remember I was praying a lot in college, like, what am I going to do? What's my next step? And then just everything that transpired, the people I met, how everything's worked out has just been beautiful. And I think, the Lord has just watched over me, and it's not always been easy. I think there's been a lot of, stepping away and going out on my own. Leaving Good was a very violent time in the YouTube golf space. It was, no one prepares you for what that looks like, from like people messaging you and sending you death threats, and
oh my
just
gosh,
like terrible, couple weeks of my life making that decision to step away and go to my own. Was
that the hardest part?
What was that?
Was that the hardest part, like the public's opinion?
Oh yeah. Because, when I decided to step away, Micah left really close at the same time. He's another Good member as well. He left very close to me. I think he actually left like a little bit before me. But yeah, during that time, Good was we were coming off the Good Cup, I remember, and getting 1 million views a video, which that was the first time we were consistently getting 1 million views a video. And this was this thing we did at Paynes Valley. It was like the FedEx Cup. There's like points, and everyone was like competing against each other. It was really cool. And that's when, like, right after that, coming off of that, is when I decided to step away. And yeah, I remember making the video, my decision. We don't have to get down to the nitty gritty of that, but it was a very tough time. It was the toughest thing I've had to go through in this space. Mm-hmm. And I think, you learn so much in the lower periods of your life. I think that's the closest I ever felt to God. It was just like I remember just like late nights of it just being so quiet, and the magnitude of this decision felt so big from a public image. And it was wild. I remember getting the death threats and getting just terrible thousands of messages a day. Like, it's just, people were so, and I understand they were so bought into the characters. And so just making that decision really, I could see it really made a lot of people mad, and it was a lot to deal with. But
if I could pause here for a quick application to the listener. A lot of times people look at Grant or Webb or Ben and think, man, look at these careers these guys have it made. If I could just have that. What you've got to realize is, if you're a Christian, God's going to use whatever situation or circumstance you're in to make you more like Jesus. And
Amen.
So every single person, no matter what they're going through, or no matter what platform they have, the Lord is going to shape them, and he's going to mold them. And sometimes that's painful. Often it's painful. And so these guys are not exempt from that. And neither are any of us.
Yeah. And I feel like, touching on what you just said, I always held, even being able to film with all these pros now, I held them on this like pedestal of just human beings, that these are like they have the perfect life. Everything's perfect, like, you know, whatever, like nothing goes wrong, and it's like this fairy tale land. And getting to hang out with all these guys, you know, whoever, John Rahm, Max Homa, Phil, everyone, they all have their own life, and they're all going through the same experience that everyone else is going through. It's just from a public, when you're just looking at their golf scores, that looks pretty good. But if you really start to look at everyone's life, they're all going through a lot of the same problems that we are.
Yeah.
Well, dude, tell us about some of the stuff that you're working on now. You got a handful of different series that you're doing on your own personal channel. They're all really cool. They're all really different. So tell us what you're working on. Tell us which ones of those are your favorites, which ones are really hitting, or are they all performing the same way?
Yeah. So that's been the coolest thing. I think when you start a series, getting people bought into a storyline or multiple videos is very difficult. There has to be something that they really like. So first series that has been really cool is with George and Wes, is our major cut. And I was just talking with Webb and you guys about it, that I was just on my phone Googling the leaderboard, the 2012 US Open. We just went to Olympic Club and Webb won there, ironically. And we just uploaded that video yesterday. Part 2 is coming out today. So Webb's name is at the top of this leaderboard, because the leaderboard in our major cut series, we basically go to all these major venues, major championship venues. We play 36 holes from the same tees, and we try and make the cut.
I'm still leading. That's like a 13-year lead. Let's go.
I was like,
hey, tell the USGA to give you a freaking exemption the next time it's there. I mean,
it's all right.
USGA.
I'll go to Duke for 36 holes and qualify again. That's all right.
Brutal.
Yeah, but that was so cool. I was like, what are the odds? You know, like this morning, I'm literally on the leaderboard looking at Webb's name.
That's
We're
cool.
doing this now.
There's probably a way for us to collaborate on that and get some more followers. So maybe we can work on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
We'll figure something out. But yeah, so that's been really cool. Just getting people bought in. Like, we have a lot of major venues that we still have to go to next year. Every major, we're still like, we like to time it up. So we'll go out there, you know, a couple weeks before the major happens. We want the conditions to be as close as we can get them to the actual conditions, and that's not like it's very difficult. You're not always going to get them the same way, but we've been lucky on a couple to get them very close, like a couple weeks before the tournament. They got them rolling. I remember Pinehurst was really good, and a lot of them. So that's really cool. That's our major cut series. And then what else? We have me and Phil. That's been really cool. Me and Phil started a 2v2 series. And so, yeah, that's, I mean, for me, just being a golf nut my whole life, starting a 2v2 series with Phil, and
he's like old enough to be your dad. Like, so tell us, like, how did y'all get hooked up?
Yeah, so that's a funny story. So Scott Stallings, caddy, John,
JY,
he is now with Phil. So my manager got his number, and somehow, it's actually a funny story when Josh, my manager, tells it, because he reached out to John. He's like, would Phil ever be interested in doing like a YouTube video? And we've seen in the past that Phil really likes social media. He does a lot of Instagram videos. We've seen him doing like some funny stuff like years ago. And so John texts my manager Josh back, and he's like, yeah, Phil's going to be calling you really soon. And like, I think he's interested. And we're like, Phil's not going to call him. And so, yeah, like a couple hours later, Phil's calling. He gets a random number, and he's like, hey, Josh, it's Phil. And they're on the phone like 2 hours later talking about doing this 1v1. And we're just like, we just want to go film with Phil out in Rancho and just see how this goes. We just want to go out there. But
the 2v2 is not even in your mind at this point.
It's at this point, we're just like, I just want to meet Phil. Like, it was one of the most nerve-wracking videos I've ever.
I just want to hit some flop shots with him. That's all.
Seriously.
Yeah, no,
watch
I
him
didn't
work.
want anything out of it. I just wanted to go film a video with him. And it just, from the second we met, we hit it off. And it's just been so good. I had this like really weird intuition that I had this feeling that the second I met Phil, we were just gonna hit it off. And I remember praying about it, but I also just remember just feeling like it was gonna happen. Like it was just something that was like, I'm gonna go meet Phil, and something's just gonna happen, and we're just gonna give it to each other. It's gonna be smooth, and that's what happened. And the first video, we did a 1v1 together, and it was like one of the more famous clips that I've had on the channel. Where first hole of the day, I hit it in the rough, and Phil's like, "You got to be careful. There's dead flyers around here." And so I'm like, a dead flyer. And I just met Phil, and this is like a legend.
That is such a Phil phrase, because I've never heard that before, and of course,
right, yeah. And
you just make stuff up just to.
I remember I have a 60-degree from like 90 yards, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like it should jump a little bit, whatever. Phil's like, just be careful. You get a lot of dead flyers around here. I go back to my bag. I grab a 56, one club extra.
He's already in your head.
And I hit this thing. Like, it flew the green. Like, and it went onto the road. Like,
it's going up as it goes by the green.
Oh, it was not even like, it didn't even scare it. I mean, it's like soaring over top onto the road, OB. And Phil looks at me and just grins, and he's like, it's going to be a long day. And it's like, and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just happened. And I start with 5 shots in these. So I'm usually like, I start 5 under. I'm already off to a double bogey start.
Is it double max?
What'd you say?
Do you play double max or no? You got to go post a score.
No,
gotcha. So a triple can kill you.
Oh, yeah. And so, you got to count everything out. But yeah, from that moment, somehow, after that video, we kind of started talking to Phil about, hey, what if we kept filming together? Like, what if me and you teamed up and we started to go challenge other people? And like, no matter who they are, they could be on the PGA Tour, live, celebrities, whoever. Let's just go play 2v2s against people. And so we started this series, and we started out with Dustin Johnson and his brother Austin. We then went to John Rahm and we went to John Daly and John Daly Jr., then John Rahm and Josh Allen, and then we did Bryson and Garrett. And so throughout all these, we're now 4-0. So we have not lost yet.
Y'all are 4-0.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
You and I need a little action there.
Hey, we need some action. A little Bible Caddie action.
Yeah,
oh boy,
the boys going down.
Yeah, Ben and Webb, they might be a little too good.
Hey, Ben, quickly tell your Madison Club Phil story and see if that measures up with what Grant's witnessed from Phil.
Okay,
with the tees.
So we're at Madison Club, and Phil and I used to love playing matches at Madison, and we're negotiating with this guy who's a very high stakes player, higher handicapper, Hollywood guy. And
beats you with a pencil.
I mean, and there's a lot of money that's exchanging hands, and it comes down to kind of this one big match. And we're standing on the tee, we're placing all the bets, and we get the bet just right where Phil wants it, and then he just throws one. He kind of concedes one thing at the end, because this guy says, all right, but we get to play from the 2 tees. And Phil's like, he doesn't like it. And he's like, you know what? Okay. And then he goes over to Spencer, the director of golf, and he goes, flips him a little money, whispers at him, says, take every 2 tee marker and put it next to every one marker from hole 3 forward. And so we're playing the same teams. And this big gambler thought, wow. And he by the 3rd or 4th hole, he's like, oh my gosh, this is the way it's going to be all day long.
The course setup crew really got me today.
Oh, that's so good. Because, that's actually funny. That leads me into the second video that I did with Phil. Funny story is, the night before, he called the superintendent. And so this is our rematch. So he calls the superintendent the night before.
This guy's won a gajillion majors, and he's just grinding the night before this YouTube match.
This is the rematch. So our first match, I beat Phil. So the rematch is happening. Another 18-hole match where I start 5 under against Phil. I always get 5 shots. And so we're back at Rancho Santa Fe, where it's just his country club he's at. He calls the superintendent the night before, and he wants the greens triple rolled. So they're rolling like a 14, and he wants to set the pins. And so when I tell you these pins are ridiculous, the first hole, if you come up short, you roll 40 yards down to the bottom. If you guys have played Rancho.
Oh, yeah.
You know that if you come up short, it rolls down that entire hill there. And so, Ben, if you've played Rancho, you know he tucked that pin on the front of the green. And so it's right on the top, the crest of the slope. And so if, I didn't know the greens were triple rolled. I had no idea. It's windy.
I've never heard of triple rolled. I've heard of double, never triple.
Yeah, no, triple. He hit him with the 3 times. And so I get up and we both go long on the first hole past the pin and we both have these putts. And somehow, by the grace of God, I lag this thing up there. And I'm so nervous. Like I'm still shaking, I'm shaking just because it's Phil. I'm like, my hands like over every putt. I can just feel it. I'm like, what is wrong with me? And I'm somehow, because I have a really bad speed issue with my game. Like something's missing with speed control in my brain.
Hey, that's why you went to that broomstick.
Oh yeah, that helped. It was so heavy you couldn't like whack it. But I somehow lag it up there. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I barely tapped it. But I didn't realize how truly fast they were because the putting green wasn't that fast. So he also kind of tricked me there.
Yeah.
Phil gets up. And he has a little bit closer than me. He hits it and he barely misses the cup. And it trickles and trickles and it rolls down 4 yards.
No.
And he looks over at me. He's like, that was supposed to happen to you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not in on this joke. I have no idea what's going on. And everybody's in. Like, even my videographer and my manager are in on the joke. Like, everyone knows that I'm supposed to be putting it off the green. And Phil puts it off the green. It was the funniest thing. He did it to himself. He tricked himself. And he did it multiple times throughout the video where he actually hurt himself.
That is amazing.
The Mongolian reversal.
It's incredible.
That's right. I mean, Grant, people ask me all the time, who are your favorite people to play with on tour? And Phil comes to mind as quick as anybody because it's so fun to play golf with a guy who cares so much about the game. And you're like, man, this guy's been out here 25 years and it's Saturday to PGA Tour event. We're in 38th and all he's thinking about is shooting 8 under to have a chance to win tomorrow, Right. And one year in Phoenix, we both played together Saturday. We both had a great day. It was just so fun to be out there with him because they love him there. And
like real quick, you said we both play together. Like you can play with him, but he doesn't play with you.
True. Facts.
Words matter.
Yeah.
But we're like 5 back going into Sunday, right? But he puts his arm around me on 18 while the guy we're playing with is putting out. And he's like, he goes, I got a game plan for us tomorrow, right? We're not even playing together on Sunday. But he maps out this whole thing, how he and I are going to go out on the front, shoot 5 or 6 under as if like that's really easy to do. He's like, the leaders will look at the leaderboard. They'll see us coming, they'll get nervous and then we'll have a chance to win. Like, it's just how he thinks all the time. Like,
right.
Yeah. I mean, and he's so competitive. Like reason Phil has got to where he's at in his career is because he just is like crazy competitive. Like there's something different in his brain.
Yeah.
That it's like, no matter what, he's got to be.
I mean,
like
Amy probably made a great meal that night for him, and he's leaving the dinner table, calling the superintendent to set the pins because he wants to beat you, right? That's just how.
Just thinking about the match. Like he puts so much thought and preparation into just a YouTube video. But now these YouTube videos, they did almost 2.5, like 3 million views, some of them. And so
that's awesome.
There is like, I feel like he probably doesn't look at that. He's probably not like Karen. I don't even know if he does look at YouTube stuff. I haven't even asked him.
Oh, but, I'm sure he watches. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. If he's calling the superintendent, he's probably taking a peeky peek.
Triple rolled. Yeah. That's a good one.
But one of the things I also appreciate about Phil, we were having these money games at Madison, and we get paired together in a tournament a few weeks later, and we just kind of walk over to him on the first tee, and I go, same game, and he goes, Ben, we're not playing a game out here. I'm just rooting super hard for you. And I'm like, that's awesome. Hey, we're both just trying to shoot our lowest score out here. Don't worry about any games, whatever.
Yeah, he's been so great to me too. I mean, he actually, so his coffee company For Wellness, that's kind of a lot of the reason why he loves YouTube so much is because we're able to talk about that, and we do like QR codes. We put them up on the screen, and after the first video, funny story, first video, I wanted to surprise Phil just for coming on the channel. And so I was like, how could we kind of just, be nice to Phil for doing this, giving his time. And my manager, Josh, he talks with the CEO of 4Wellness, and he's like, can we run like a discount, like a 15% off, whatever. And so I get up, it's like the 6th hole, Phil's over on the tee box, and I come over to the little GoPro, the cart cam that's in our carts. And I'm like, guys, let's surprise Phil today. Scan this QR code, go get some 4Wellness, show him some love. And that day, we doubled his record day of sales ever in the history of the company. The record day was when he won the PGA. So that was the record day of 4Wellness sales.
The coffee bar is amazing.
Right. Yeah. It's awesome stuff. And we doubled his record day of sales. And so I think from there on, Phil's like, that's also probably the reason he also wants to do YouTube too. I like to think it's me, but I think that he also knows the power of it. And it's really cool to see that. And he can see the direct impact that YouTube video had on 4Wellness. And since then he's giving me ownership in the company. And so now it's like, I'm drinking the good stuff every day. Got it in my coffee.
Good for you.
But that's really cool.
Yeah, it's he's something else. I'll tell you. He just how serious he is too in our 2v2s. With I remember we were doing Josh Allen and John Rahm, and like Rahm picked up like it was like a 4-footer, and I could tell like that really got to Phil.
Why did he pick it up?
It was like, I don't know. He just kind of like scooped it because, Rahm, he was getting heated in this 2v2 because we were making a comeback. And that's the video also, Josh Allen, he messed with our rangefinder. He took Phil's rangefinder and changed it to meters. And so for 3 holes,
the European setting,
coming up 20 yards short, me and Phil. And Josh Allen is laughing like he's losing it.
How did y'all finally figure it out?
Like these like me and Phil together, like it's truly like if you go back and watch the Josh Allen, John Rahm 2v2, we're at a point where we're like 2 down in the match, and Phil is mad. Like we're in the cart together, and it's kind of quiet, and I'm just like, when Phil's getting like fired up, I'm just. I got nothing to offer. Like I'm here. Like,
hey, Scott, just edit that part out. Just edit that part out.
Like Phil's getting into it, and so I'm just trying my best. Like I'm just giving it my all because I know he's gonna do something. Like he's great. He's not just good. He's great at the game, and he's gonna figure out a way. But I remember scooping up that like John. He's like, "What is this? Like, is everything good now?" He like, "Is every putt good now?" And John's like, "It was like 2 feet." It's like, no, we're putting
I love it. He said 2 feet, 2 feet.
Yeah, for like a couple minutes, it was just like really quiet and tense. And so a lot of these 2v2s, they do get super tense. Like these are competitors. These guys take it serious, and it's been really
all right. So you've filmed with Tiger, with Scottie, with Rory, with Bryson, on and on. What's the most nervous you've ever been before a video?
Boy. Man, I'll tell you the most nervous I was ever in a video, and I still remember it. I had a putt we were doing on the Brian Bros channel. It wasn't even involving a pro. I had a putt. We did a skins game. We had a sponsors $100,000 skins game, and so each hole was like $5,000, and then it rolled over if we tied. There were 6 of us, so each putt, if you would win that skin, you won $5,000. We play 3 holes, and everyone ties the first 3, and then we get to the 4th hole, and I have a putt for 20, it was like $20,000, and it kept rolling over. It's like the first time I played for any type of like real money. And I remember like when I tell you I was shaking, and this is like with my eyes too.
Hey, this is their life right here. This is their life.
I'm telling you, like full on, like whole body. And I'm like over like a 7-footer, and I'm like, and I don't even scare the hull. Like I don't even like, I could barely make contact with it. I'm like, this right here is why I do not play for money. Like I couldn't even like make a stroke. It was unbelievable. But that was most nervous. My heart, I thought it was gonna like explode. But I would say the most nervous I've ever been around a pro was Tiger. Waiting for Tiger to do that video, the one where he just gave, it was like a 30-minute video. He had 30 minutes, was at the TaylorMade shoot, and it was just like him coaching me on how to hit more fairways. But we you know, I really did. I wanted to know, like, under pressure, how he gets in and play when it was coming down the stretch. And I remember waiting for him to walk up. And there's just something about...
And you had never met him before?
I have. So,
okay.
yeah.
But at that point, had you met him? I know that you play with Charlie.
So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, me and Charlie get out and play a lot together here in Jupiter. So we play, you know, 2 or 3 times a month together, and I've gotten to go to Medalist with Tiger and Charlie and just hang out, just the 3 of us. So that was like, I did know Tiger pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came up and he kind of like he comes out of the bushes, and it's different when it's on video too. Like, you're just as a YouTuber, like you're thinking about like how everything's going. Your mind's not even really like, I'm not even, I feel like I'm not in the present sometimes. I'm like, how is this video going? But Tiger comes like out of the bushes, like on the wrong way. And I'm just like, you know, you shake his hand, and I like stuttered, and I'm like, good to see you, Tiger. And it's like, Grant, what's up, man? He like remembered my name, and it was pretty cool. And so we started talking a little bit about Charlie, and I get up there, and I just remember like the first one, he was just got quiet, and you just feel him staring at you. You're like, all right, Tiger, I'm going to hit one here. Just take a look at this. And you're like, like, you can just, once again, it's that moment where everything starts to just tense up. You can feel it in your body, and it's just like, he's quiet. You know how Tiger is. He like got he has his arms crossed, and he's just watching. And he knows, like, I'm freaking out. Like, I think he knows like how everybody has like been around him his whole life. So he's probably just. I mean,
do y'all think Tiger just thinks people are weird? Because everybody's weird and nervous around him. He probably just thinks that people in general, the whole race,
he's like,
the whole race of humans are weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever met Tiger, like a golfer, and not been nervous.
I did an outing yesterday, and I can tell people get nervous around me, and I feel like I'm like the least intimidating guy ever. But like, they're nervous around me, but I'm like, they don't need to be nervous. Like, I know they're probably gonna hit it, you know, a low slice or something, and I'm just gonna support them. But it's so funny.
Hey, Ben Crane has not made a lot of mistakes in his pro golf career, but one mistake he made one time, he used to not check who he played with. And at Memorial, he shows up to the first tee, and it just so happens that on Saturday, he's with the big cat. And he's like, oh, well, this is a little different than I was prepared for.
Yeah. It's like 20 deep on each side. And I'm like,
you're like, this isn't Bryony Baird. I know it's not Bryony.
Yesterday when I played with Bryce Mulder, not this many people were here.
Bryce Mulder, I know that name. But that was for sure the most nervous. And then obviously it's been Phil and Tiger. They're just a different. I always try and explain this to people, and this is no knock on Bubba or DJ or Sergio or anyone, but it feels like what I've picked up on when we're filming and we do these duels, and these are like with all the live guys, me and Phil are always on a team together, and then it'll be like Bubba and someone, and then it's, you know, whoever, Sergio and someone, and we all team up, and it's teams of 2. You take a content creator and a pro, then there's money on the line. And so we've done like 5 of these, and it feels like when everyone else gets up to hit, Dustin and Sergio and everyone, like, everyone's still locked in, and they're like, wow, like, we're watching this. But it feels like when Phil gets up to hit, it's just, there's like this different level of quietness where everybody just like, and I feel like it's even the players too, like even Sergio and DJ, like, everyone's just watching more intently because what he's done in the game, it's just like, it's like, you know, only a couple people have ever even gotten close. So it's it's a different level of focus, and it's quiet, and there's that word aura that I feel like definitely happens.
Totally. Who's your dream collab right now?
I would say my dream collab right now, if I could do any video, I would say it'd be me and Phil versus Tiger and Charlie.
Oh, and wow.
I would love to do that 2v2.
Wow.
Yeah, I just I don't know where Tiger's at, with his golf game, or if he's even swinging right now, but I will say that would be a lot of fun. And I think Phil and I starting the 2v2 series, that was kind of our end all be all video. Like, that's
the crown jewel.
Yeah, that's like, that's it.
If he plays the father son, get him right after the father son. Get Charlie to chirp him.
Hey, You never know. You never know. I mean, Tiger has done the Capital One matches. Phil's talked a lot about that because Phil set up, like, that was a lot of Phil initiating everything with those big Capital One, Tom Brady and Phil versus, Peyton Manning and Tiger or Tom Brady or whatever the teams were. I remember they did one at Medalist. And yeah, like Phil's initiated a lot of that. So, we'll see where this stands in the future, but it's definitely the dream collab. That's the top.
I'll tell you a fun idea could be to play like Rory and Fleetwood at Bethpage for y'all to take on one of the Ryder Cup teams that was a powerhouse. That could be a cool video.
Well, the thing is with our 2v2 series, we don't. So what usually happens is we take one pro.
Gotcha.
One
pro, one non-pro.
Match them with a guy closer to me.
Yeah.
Because if Phil and I, we are 4-0, but like the teams we're playing, like Bryson and Garrett, me and Garrett's game is very, very similar. Yeah. And then Bryson's obviously Bryson. And so it was a really, really intense match. And then like John Rahm and Josh Allen, he like carried John Rahm that day. It was unbelievable. No way. So good. And so yeah, we always do a pro and then a guy that's closer to me. Because you can't, me and Phil know that if we go and we challenge, Rory and Tommy Fleetwood, we're probably gonna be over pretty quick. And so we know like what our matchups have to be to keep it fun.
Yeah. All right. Before we move to Faith, most fun benefit of your success, and then the biggest challenge of your success.
The most fun benefit.
Yeah.
Never heard that word. That's a cool word. Fun benefit. Never heard those used together.
Well, or greatest benefit. I don't know.
Greatest benefit. Okay. Yeah. So I would say, the lifestyle I love. I love getting to meet new people, get to experience a lot of new places. I just think, it really doesn't make sense. The people that I've got to be around and spend a lot of time with, it just keeps going and it keeps going. And we're just, every day you're like, how is this happening? How is this real? So there's like that struggle of like trying to like really be grateful and take it in and be like, this is the most amazing thing that could ever happen. And also at the same time, like, hey, we got a lot of work to do. Like we can't just sit around and be like, so it's like that pull of like every day waking up, being grateful, pinching yourself. And then also like, hey, like, let's get the next one because there's always the next video. And so I love just the people. I would say the relationships, the people I've gotten to meet is the number one benefit of it. And then second question, you said the biggest struggle?
Yeah. Or challenge.
Yeah. Biggest challenge is the ability to keep innovating and keep creating new ideas and get people really invested into new things. And I think the reality of YouTube golf is only so, like, you can only do so much with golf. So like other YouTubers out there, they're general entertainment. So they'll go, they can do any video under the sun. It doesn't matter. It's just a general entertainment channel. Golf, you're confined to the sport. And so the ability to keep innovating becomes more challenging, and it is saturated. I think there's so many people trying to get in and do YouTube. And so I think the challenge is like, making sure that you're staying out in front and you are innovating and you're making great content that people love. And you also need to be reading comments and seeing what people really want and what they like. Because, a lot of the proof is in the comments and what people say. Yeah. So I would say the biggest struggle for sure is just the ability to keep innovating and keep new ideas coming. Now, we just thought of one last night. I'm not going to share it, but we thought of a really good one. Me and Sky, we were like, we both had a little bit of caffeine and our brains got firing and something great transpired. So I got this like new idea that we're working on. But it's going to require a lot of logistics and scheduling. So that's another big thing. A challenge would be like scheduling and getting people. Like that is a huge hurdle. Is like when I want to film, I've been messaging Justin Rose. And so when I want to film with Justin, it's like he's got to figure out a date that works for him. And then I got it. Like it's always like the date and figuring out how to line it up and where we got to travel.
And then you got to add in like an extra 20 minutes for the drop he's going to take on the 13th hole.
There you go. I'm not going to bring that up. But there's not, I mean, once again, you know, all the greatness and all the fun that comes out of it, it kind of outweighs all the struggles. You don't really, you know, it's part of it. Like nothing's easy in life. So.
And one thing, like, what does your practice look like? How much are you trying to improve your game? What instructor has really influenced you? What's that part of your life look like?
Yeah, so my dad's a PGA pro. He's been my instructor. I got into the game a little bit late. I started at like 13, 14 years old. But my dad's huge on fundamentals. Like, he was obsessed with the grip. Like, he still is. Obsessed. Like, it has to be in the perfect position. And, like, all of his students, alignment, everything he starts, he's just a fundamentals guy. That's what my dad is. He's not going to tell you to shallow out and, like, how to kick. He's not going to do any of that. He's going to look at your grip, your shoulders, your alignment, your posture. He's going to do all that. And so that helped me out with the foundation starting out in the game. And I feel like I was able to catch up to the kids that have already been playing their whole life. So that was really big. But I will say I love the game so much. And I play like every day. I just played the last 2 days at Panther National, which was JT's course. Yeah. It's pretty good. Did you?
Yeah, it's fun. I loved it. Yeah.
It's a huge course, like really open. It's a lot of fun. And so I was just out there the last 2 days, and I just recently joined my first golf course, Tequesta Country Club.
Oh, Tequesta's sweet.
Yeah. So a lot of the guys are out there. Daniel Berger was out there the other day, Ricky, and I've seen JT, like they're all, Alex Noren's out there. A lot of the guys are around there. And so for me, like I said, I just love the game so much. So I go out there and practice, and I grind, and I love hitting balls. And I love
can you, if you grind with Noren, then you know you're a hard worker. The guy will.
Can Alex Noren get the club around the corner?
Dude. My goodness.
Yeah, is he ever gonna actually swing left? Is he there yet? Like, is the club moving left through the ball?
Unbelievable.
He's still trying, you know? He's
the
really
hardest
trying.
thing for Alex at the Ryder Cup to be an assistant captain was he couldn't hit balls. I mean, unless he snuck out there at night.
I saw he like posted a screenshot of his hands and like the calluses were lifted off.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
He makes VJ Singh look late. He makes VJ Singh look lazy.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. But, all right, so Grant, how'd you come to know the Lord? Tell us about kind of before you knew Christ and after and that whole process.
Yeah, I don't have this like testimony that's like, you know, I almost died or I got sick or you know, this like horrible thing happened and that's where you find the Lord at rock bottom. I feel like it was a gradual process of finding out my faith and like where I, you know, what I wanted to do with my life, how I wanted to live my life. There's a lot of like self-reflection that went into it. But going to PBA, it's a Christian school. So I went 4 years there. I had to go to chapel all the time. And I remember going to chapel and like you'd hear it. It's a weird thing in life. Like you can hear something, but to actually act on it and to live it out is a whole nother thing. To claim you're a Christian and to actually live it out is also a whole nother thing. And like I struggle every day, I fall short, but I'm at least I can feel my heart and it's changing and I'm trying to reach something. But I'll tell you, back then it was like I went to chapel and then I'd go out on Sunday and party, and I got into that scene and I loved going out and having fun, and it just felt like I was living two lives. And I think what really changed, and it's big with my faith, is when I got into YouTube. I think one of the biggest, or one of the moments where I was like, dang, I have got to figure this out is I remember a kid coming up to me on the range and he was like very, very small, and he's reciting everything we said in these videos, like word for word. And like he's like I'm gonna act like this guy now, and he's reciting every video, and it's like whoa, this is really powerful that this kid, his brain is like, he's consuming this content and he is picking up on everything we're saying and doing. And so I'm thinking, like, what about the, hundreds of thousands of other kids out there that are being, they're being moved by what we say, and they're also like absorbing this. And so that was a moment where I had to be like, how do I, like, what's my purpose in this industry, and how do I want to impact people? And I feel like the Lord was always kind of like, it was tugging at me, but it was like, all right, I need to take this serious. And so also meeting my wife was pretty far along in her faith. And so she was very like, yeah, we're going to either do this or like, it's not really a choice. And so, going to church with her really helped. Right when we got out to Dallas, we found a great church. And that's when I feel like I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And I made the decision. I remember out in Dallas that I was like, I made the decision before, but it wasn't like, you can make the decision, but you're not really like, you're like, this time it's like, this is the time, you go get baptized and like, you're like, I'm in, like, I'm all in. I'm not like, 1 foot in. And it's, but I'll tell you what, it doesn't get easier once you make that decision. It's not like, you make that decision and now it's like, all right, I'm good. Like, it only gets harder. And it only requires more discipline. And that's what I'm finding out right now. Like, I'm falling so short on the, like, waking up, getting on my phone and not getting in scripture. And like, there's so many ways where it's just so frustrating. And it's like, I'm trying to break it.
So that's the question I had to you. And I would love for you to speak to this, because we're going to have a lot of young listeners to this podcast because of who you are, and the audience you draw is amazing. So as a Christian, right, God's clearly given you access and a platform here in this space. So how do you balance, as a Christian speaking, how do you balance for these young people who social media is a huge part of their life now, different from when we grew up? So how do you balance using that platform for good, for the Lord, right, to help people, to bless people? But at the same time, I imagine the struggle is super real when it comes to, like, Paul says, I'm not trying to please man, I'm trying to please Christ. If I was still trying to please man, I wouldn't be a servant of Christ. So how do you balance that where, like, you're in tune with what your listeners and your viewers want to see and hear? And so, like, there's a healthy balance, but also, like, how do you not become a slave to it?
Great question. We struggle with that that's a decision we have to make every day. We get opportunities with different channels and whatever. And I have to make that decision, that conscious decision every day with our team. And I would say having my team around me and the people around me that are all believers, and my videographer and my manager, Josh, and my wife, the support system of people that keep you in line is the most important thing. Because on your own, you're going to fall.
For sure.
I feel like you're just going to fall into traps. And if you don't have people around you holding you accountable and being like, hey, man, we're not going to, like, I know that you think that this video would do well, but, like, it's just it's too much on the edge of our brand. And, like, we got to, once again, like, we are a family friendly brand. Like, my biggest goal with our channel is to make sure that families can sit down in their living room all together and watch the videos, and they know they're not going to get things that they don't want their child seeing. And so,
or hearing.
It's definitely a struggle that we have to really be intentional about, because it's not easy. Like, it's so easy to just fall in and just, because also, like, viewership, what gets views, certain things that would get a lot of views. And like, also working with brands, like, I can go down this whole rabbit hole of, like, certain brands come and we just don't work. Like, having to turn that down is one of the hardest things. It's like, you have a brand that comes and they're just not exactly what you align with, but they have tons of money per se, and you have to sit there and say no, and it just doesn't align with our goal. And so, there's the struggles every day with it. For sure.
I love that answer. You got a team, you have accountability. Proverbs 18:1, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all sound judgment. So that's a great thought.
That just gave me chills. That was good. Yeah. Because I totally feel that. That is, I think isolation and being by yourself, you start to really just, you don't know where you're going. You know,
Right.
you have to talk to people. That was actually our message in church Sunday. Was we were in Corinthians. We were in like 2 Corinthians. It was talking about suffering and the things you go through in life. And I could just see, I see being by yourself and suffering alone is so challenging. But when you're with a group of people that are there to suffer with you and be alongside you, not necessarily they don't need to suffer, but just have empathy and understand where you're coming from. If you have a support system around you, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And
it's so true.
I would say I owe so much to my group of guys, and like the Lord has just blessed me above and beyond with the people that have come into our life and been working on the channel. So
that's awesome.
Okay, 2 more questions until we go to your favorite verse. Has it surprised you when you have brought up faith on the channel, whether it's in the episode with Scottie or when Saquon Barkley brought it up with you? That clip just ran wild. Like those little 20 or 30-second conversations, has it been surprising how big of an impact that's made really globally on people's faith?
Yeah. We'll touch on the Scottie video first, because when I knew we were going to film a Scottie, my first initial response was, how can we talk about the Lord? Because I know how many views it's going to get. Like, we're not worried about that. It's Scottie Scheffler. It's our most viewed video of all time now. It just passed it. It's still going. Like, it's still getting views. It's just like, what's happening? This
I watched it. I watched it yesterday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I played terrible. I was so nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, this video is going to get like 5 million views, and I knew it. And so I'm just thinking to myself, like, oh, this is a lot of people watching this, and I'm like freaking out right now. And so like every shot I couldn't get in the moment, I'm like, there's so many people watching this. So I was terrible. But me and Scottie had a lot of great conversations, and he was in such a good mood that day. But yeah, I just remember thinking to myself immediately when we heard that video and we knew it was going to happen, how can we talk about the Lord? Because I just want to impact. I don't care if people aren't believers, I just want them to hear it. And if they don't like it, it's fine. It's still left a little bit of something in them, and I want them to hear the name of Jesus. And if they decide to not follow, or whatever they decide to do with that is up to them. Everyone has to make their own decision. But at least I want to impact 5 million people and let them hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm not shoving it down their throat. I just want to talk to Scottie about how the Lord has blessed him and what the Lord's done in his life. And you can see how outward Scottie is about his faith. And I can just see the life it's created for him. It's beautiful. And, but yeah, going to the Saquon video, that was a whole different, like the Scottie one, like, where he stands. Where Scottie is with his faith. Like, he's very outward about it. Saquon, no idea. Like, I had no clue until we get on the back nine. We're on like hole 12, and Saquon's like on video. He's like I know you're a Christian. Like, I've been taking my faith serious this year, and it's been the best season of my life.
Wow.
And, whoa. Like, and like when he opens up that door, it's like, okay, like let's talk. I'm not going to sit there and, put him on the spot and be like, so where do you stand with Jesus?
Right.
It's really weird. But he brought it up, and I'm like, this is awesome. That's the first time that's ever happened. And yeah, I mean, what came out of that was incredible. Like, it's nothing that I ever expected, I think, to see all these pages posted, and it also to do so well. Yeah. It's almost like it got posted, it got clipped, and it was the best. It was the most viral part of the video was Saquon talking about his faith. And so, like, what is there? Well, like, why does that trigger a response in people? Whether it was positive or negative, it still brought out a response in people. And I saw these like one big Christian page, and it had like it was going crazy. This one post of just like Saquon declares that he is a Christian. Yeah, and
Grant, one thought I've had. So like, oh, go ahead, Ben.
It's just cool to see how Christians are just wanting to rise up, in this culture. And when people like Saquon and you talk about the Lord, it really intrigues a lot of young people in a way that they can learn to be courageous about their faith in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And like one thing I've learned through these Netflix documentaries of Formula One or NASCAR or Full Swing or whatever, why do fans, why do we love it? Here's why we love it, I think, because we get to know the person. Daniel Ricciardo, I knew nothing about him, but you see kind of who he is and how that impacts his driving. And like whether they're a Christian or not, it's still really endearing as a watcher to know who the person is, you know, making the pass or in the car, whatever. And so for Christians, it should be most natural for us to talk about the thing we love most. It should be what comes out of us, you know, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. We're going to talk about the things we love. And so I think whether people do not like it or not, they like it or not, they still want to know, they still want people to be their authentic selves. And I think maybe there's a shift right now in people wanting to see more Christians talk about their faith, which is really cool.
Yeah. And I mean, when you do talk about it too, you're going to get a lot of people that also are like, enough with this. Like, I don't want to hear this. I'm just watching golf. And so that's also something that, you know, we have to balance. It's not that we like are going to talk about it less, but it's also like, how can we do this? I feel like with me, George, and Wes in our Major Cut series, we're not just sitting there reading Bible verses and talking about it all the time, but I feel like it's also a way of how we act in the videos and how we just the words we use and the things we say, how that comes across is almost just as powerful because, you know, I don't talk a ton about my faith on videos. Like, it's not this thing where every video I'm talking about my faith. Like, it's just not. But it's this, you know, you meet people that watch the videos in real life. And I'll tell you what, it's right after the Saquon video. We're doing a fan meetup at a Live event. They were like, Live posted this thing, like, come meet these creators. And so we're standing out there and like the line starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's so like, I'm like meeting all these people that watch the videos. And I mean, it was it was almost like every other person was like, the way Saquon shared his faith was the coolest thing. Like every single person, that was like, you know, a week or two after that video came out, every person wanted to talk about Saquon sharing his faith. And it was like,
so cool.
Whoa, like it was every other person. You're just like, hey, I love that you're a believer. Thank you so much for like Christians will let you know. It's also so encouraging on, you know, on our end. It's like to hear that it touches people and, you know, Christians will support. Believe, like they are there, you know, they're fans for life. And so it's really cool to have that group of people as well that just always encourage me.
And there's a bond there between fellow Christians that is unique to friendship and it's unique to the world.
Yeah. And one other thing I wanted to touch on about my testimony, and kind of, you know, if anyone's watching this that is very unsure, and it's not even from this like, how do I want to word this? When I was figuring out what I wanted to do and like my purpose and my faith and finding the Lord, I also looked at it from a very practical stance of what I hear a lot now. This is one thing that it doesn't frustrate me. That's not the word. It's just very interesting to me to hear a lot of people that don't necessarily have a relationship with the Lord. They say, I want to be a good person. Just be a good person. And that phrase, I hear it so much. It's like this worldly, like, hey, just be a good person. And the issue I see with that is the definition of good across 1,000 people. It changes. Like we don't even know what good is collectively. Like what is good? Like people believe that we have this moral like instinct. And yes, I think there are some that like you probably know like you shouldn't go murder someone, but there's someone out there that believes that is good to go kill someone. And so that's also just from a practical stance. It's like if we don't have a truth, a set of standards that we're living by, and this basic truth, like what is good? Like what are we doing? Because like if I don't even know what good is, like we can't relate on the same thing. And so that's also just a practical stance of the Bible and the truth that's within the Bible of how to live your life and how to actually, you know, live for the Lord and be a quote unquote good person. It comes from that set of truth, not just what you define as good. And I felt like that was also a big thing. I was just like, what is good? Like, what is, I kept looking at that.
Yeah. If you're listening to this and you're, like Grant mentioned, and you're on the fence or you're trying to figure it out, one of the things that you'll find that we've all found is Christianity is both true and it works. It's different than anything else. You know, it is the standard of reality. There is a real God. He really has revealed himself in real human history. He's had that written down in a book, who he is and what he's like and what he requires of us. We've fallen short of what he's required of us, but he has loved us so much that he sent his own son into the world to live the life we should have lived, to die the death we deserve to die, and then to rise again from the dead, showing that God has accepted that payment for us. And now anybody who believes in him can be totally forgiven of all their sin and can be guaranteed of eternal life. The Bible calls that the gospel. But then the glorious reality is things don't just stop when you believe that. Like Grant said, once you start to follow Jesus, you realize like, oh my goodness, I was made for this, you know, like this, living this way under God's design, it really does work. And it really does lead me to the satisfaction and fulfillment that I'm looking for. And if you're attracted to Grant, just know that that's actually the thing you're probably most attracted to. He's finding his life as a follower of Jesus, and you can too, which is really cool. Sorry to get preachy right there.
So
I
real
also
quiet
know
on me.
how crafty I am as a person.
Yeah.
I was enjoying it
as a person, just like without the Lord, and that's also a big thing. I was like, man, the thoughts and like what your flesh wants to do is just so. And if I'm that way, I guarantee a lot of people are. Like, it's just your fleshly instinct and the things that you think about and what you what your flesh wants. And I just feel like, boy, that's also just another thing. I was like, I'm not like I fall short every day. I'm not a good person. Like I was not born this like great person. Like I need a lot of help, and I need to die to myself every day. That's a big thing as well. Like, yeah.
And that's what leads us to one of your favorite verses, Jeremiah 29:11. And talking about the Lord has good plans for us. And when we really do trust him, when we really do believe in him, right, there's all these amazing benefits that come from that. So Weber, will you read that verse for us?
Yep. Jeremiah 29:11. Yep. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope.
Grant, tell us why this is your favorite verse, or one of them.
Yeah, it's because you're going to go through a lot of things in your life that is really difficult. Like everybody's going to go through hard things. And I feel like you just have to choose what your heart is, because everything's hard in life. And so knowing that what the Lord does in your life, whether it's bad or good, it's for the glory of God, and it's going to work out in the end for your good. It's just a really inspiring verse. It's uplifting. It makes you feel good too. It's like, you know what I'm going through right now, whether it's crappy or it's good, it's still, in the end, it's what the Lord has for your life and what his purpose is for your life and not yours. And I've always loved that verse. My wife loves it as well. I was looking at verses like, because I don't, when someone asks what my favorite Bible verse is, this is the first time I've ever even like actually pulled out a verse and been like, this is the one. It's so hard to be like, this is the one. But yeah, I think that's an encouraging one for sure.
Yeah, Grant, something you said earlier.
Go ahead, Weber.
No, go ahead, Ben. I'll remember.
Just the fact that the real God of heaven, the creator of it all, the one who has made us, actually has good plans for us is such a comforting, unique, knowing our giftings even better than we do, knowing what's in front of us, obviously knowing what's behind us. The one who has made us and designed us with a wonderful, good purpose has good plans ahead of us. It's just the most comforting, joyful thing that you could think about.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, Grant, something you said earlier that I love so much, when you said that like during your hardest times, you felt like God was nearest or God was doing the most work. And my wife has helped me a lot with like word pictures. She thinks in word pictures. And John 15, when Jesus is talking about his father is the vine dresser, I heard a pastor say one time that when is the vine dresser closest like to the vine? It's when he's pruning, right? Because he has to be right there to prune. And so those who are in Christ, God is going to prune, right? He's going to prune to make us more like Christ. And so it's given me great comfort when I go through something hard to know that like the Psalms kind of give us this voice of like, God, I feel like you're far away, right? But the reality is you're probably closer than ever because you're pruning me. And so it's just so good to remember when we're going through something difficult that like we're not alone, number one. Number two, Jesus can identify because he was tempted in every way that we are, yet without sin. And he's like so ready to comfort us and help us, which is so encouraging.
Wow.
So
yeah, and I mean, that's so good. I think, and on, when things are going great and you're on the mountaintop, it's so easy to be like, you know what, I did this on my own. We did it.
Yeah.
But when things are going real bad and you feel like, you're just like, I don't know how we're going to get out of this. That's when you lean on the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's when I feel the closest. It's not in the, I want to give all the glory to God. And I've gotten better at that, in the highs, because we've had so many these last couple of years, it's just been like,
you're on a heater, Bob. You're on a big boy heater right now.
Going up. And it's beautiful, but it's also, I'm okay with the lows. Like I want, I think that's when I learn the most, and that's when you reflect the most. And it's just, I can see it with a lot of people that have had a lot of success in their life, and whether they're athletes or they're businessmen, and they have quote unquote done it on their own. And that's where they have a struggle with the Lord, is because they feel like they've done it all and they've made it happen on their own. And that's a very, it's a tough way of thinking when things don't necessarily pan out. And
1 Corinthians 4:7 says, "What do you have that you did not receive? If then you received it, why do you boast as if you did not receive it?" So it's all a gift. All right, Grant, we could talk to you all day. You're the easiest conversation and a great hang.
Yeah.
I want to give it to Webb and Ben real quickly. Y'all have had a lot of success in golf. Any encouragement you might give to Grant as he's doing what he's doing in the game?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm so encouraged by you, Grant. I mean, even though you've been on a heater the last couple of years, as you said, like your love for Jesus oozes out of you. And Ben talks about this often, that when we're squeezed, when we're going through something hard, what comes out is kind of what we're all about, right? But even like prosperity is a great test in life. And so you've had so much success, yet it seems very clear that you've like poured into Jesus even more. He's doing a work in you. And man, the entertainment industry, especially in America, is very godless and very secular. And so to have you in there as someone, just a light for Jesus, the aroma of Christ, like I'm so encouraged by you. And I hope you stay on this heater for 10 more years at least. So I'm encouraged.
Thanks, Thank you.
Yeah, I think the encouragement I just see in you is just like you're abiding in the Lord and you're seeking Him first, and when you do those things, Jeremiah 29:11, like you're trusting that God really does have good plans, even though you go through deep waters, like He's with you, and that's what encourages you most. And then that bleeds out into your team, into your relationship with your wife, is an example to the world and many. And so just great job just in loving your team, loving what you do, being uniquely gifted, not being ashamed of those gifts, but just putting them on display for the Lord. So it's just fun to see.
Thank you. I mean, hey, it's just as cool for me. Like I said, we got Willie and the legend in here, but to be able to hang out with Webb and Ben, I'll tell you what, growing up watching you guys on TV, and the fact that we're here doing this together is just crazy. Like, I mean, it's so cool for me because I am a golf nerd. I watched it so much growing up, and so getting to spend some time with you guys is also so cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah,
thank
buddy.
You,
thanks with all you have going on. Thanks for joining us. We're genuinely grateful, and we're praying God's continued blessing on you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for listening to the Bible Caddie Podcast. If you have questions about Jesus, you can email us at info@biblecaddy.com. If you're interested in starting a Bible Caddie feature group, you can email us at groups@biblecaddy.com. You can follow us on all the socials under the handle @BibleCaddie. We're back next week in Philippians 2. Until then, let's get into the Word and let the Word get into us.